Hey, Laker Gang. Time to talk about the Florida acquisition and the Texas annexation. You ready, Incredibly Small Hulk? Okay, I guess it's just me. So, I decided to go a different route for today's video. I know that you guys are a big fan of Mr. Betts meme stories, so I thought I'd give one a try too. Hey, I'm not trying to steal his thing. I know that I'm no Mr. Betts, just thought I'd try it out for y'all. So let's get started with the Florida acquisition. The year is 1819. We've already started manifesting our destiny, so now America sets its sights on the Spanish land of Florida. However, we didn't just want the land, we actually had a few issues going on with Florida. Slave owners in Georgia were upset because slaves were escaping to Florida, and Seminole Indians were launching raids on settlements in Georgia because we were pushing in on their territory. So in 1817, General Andrew Jackson marched on to Florida to crush resistance and end Seminole raids. However, while he was there, he also captured the Spanish capital. And President Monroe didn't fully agree, but he did want Florida, so he allowed it to happen. Spain realized pretty quickly that they couldn't do much to stop the United States, so they ended up giving us the land in 1819 for $5 million. And after this, we still had more work to do. The Seminoles weren't just going to let us take over. However, after defeating most of them in a war and forcing the rest of them to move west, Florida was finally ours. Let's take a quick look at how we're using it now.
So I found out if you put dish detergent on a mirror and then put a piece of paper on it, it's supposed to break it. Look, did you see that? Look. Oh my god.
Anyways, let's move on to Texas. So, Spain used to own all of the land known now as Mexico and the southwestern United States, like California, Texas, Arizona, things like that. But much like us, Mexico declared independence from Spain in 1821 and took most of Spain's land claims in North America, including Texas.
Hey, how you doing? Well, I'm doing just fine. I lied, I'm dying inside.
However, independence had left Mexico pretty broke, so they needed more settlers to raise money through taxes. So they promised free land to anyone, including Americans, who would raise crops and animals, pay taxes, and be Catholic. The promise of free land was pretty great, so by 1830 there was actually more white American settlers than Mexicans living in Texas. And trouble began to brew. You see, Mexico had already outlawed slavery, but many of the American settlers had them. So in 1833, a group of settlers asked the Mexican government to have its own government. That's when things got a little crazy. So 2 years later, by 1835, groups of Mexicans and Texan soldiers were already fighting. The president of Mexico, Santa Anna, however, wasn't very happy, and he was coming for him.
Oh my God.
So he led an army into Texas to punish them, and the Americans took a last stand at an old church or mission called the Alamo. It was a large Mexican army against only about 200 men. Santa Anna demanded that they stand down and stop fighting. So the Americans responded by firing a cannonball. Now I know I've got to run away. For 10 days, Americans fought hard and were able to hold them off. But eventually, the massive army overtook the church, and nearly all Americans were lost, including famous pioneers like Jim Bowie and Davy Crockett. Sorry, no meme for that one. But this wasn't the end. 6 weeks later, more than 800 Texans, led by General Houston, launched a surprise attack against Santa Anna's army, shouting, "Remember the Alamo," as they charged into the battle. So they won the battle and captured Santa Anna, refusing to let him go until he promised to give Texas its independence. Texas was finally given its independence and for 9 years was an independent republic. And what better name for this massive chunk of land?
Will, what would yours be?
Mine would be Big Chungus.
Sorry, but it was actually called the Lone Star Republic, or much less interestingly, the Republic of Texas. And 9 years later, in 1845, it was annexed by America to be the 28th state. So, that's the story of how we got Florida and Texas. Thanks for watching, Laker Gang. I truly appreciate it. I hope that you liked the new format. Hope you liked the meme story. Be sure to comment below if you liked it. Maybe you want me to keep doing videos like this. Maybe you want me to go back to the old style videos. Maybe you have a totally new idea of how I could be doing these videos. I'm welcome to any ideas. Just drop them down in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Keep it 212. Have a great day.